Welcome! This is Dr. Plague, and today Mrs. Plague and I will be giving another movie review. This movie actually sounds pretty interesting. It is named Super Hybrid, and as of the date of this review, it is streaming for free on the Tubi streaming service. According to Tubi, the date of the movie is 2011, it is 1 hour and 34 minutes, and it is categorized as horror. The description they give is as follows. Nothing seems amiss when the Chicago police impound a car after an accident. Until the car turns out to be a killing machine, able to outsmart anyone. Wow, can you believe that? I'm excited to see what this is all about. Mrs. Plague and I will go ahead and watch this and be right back with our review. This you are not going to want to miss, so stick around. So, please join us in the movie loft. And here is Mrs. Plague.
Hi, everyone.
So, I was browsing through the movies on Tubi, and this one caught my eye. I'm a big fan of killer car movies, so you can see why this movie intrigued me. Whenever I watch a killer car movie, there's one movie that I always compare them to. The original killer car movie called The Car, starring James Brolin. That movie was from 1977 and is still one of my favorites. And, I've been waiting for a sequel to it, thinking that the effects we have today could really make for an awesome sequel. And a couple years ago, in 2019, someone actually made a sequel to it. And I would do a review of that, but I don't see it appearing on any free streaming service. I like to make sure our audience can watch the movies that we review for free whenever possible. However, the sequel to The Car, which was named The Car: Road to Revenge, was a disaster in my opinion, and it really disappointed me. Here is a 1/18 scale model of the original car from the movie The Car that Mrs. Plague gave me for my birthday last year. This is what I compare all killer cars to. It looks pretty spooky, and if you met this in a dark alley, it might freak you out a bit. You're gonna be a good little car and run someone over tonight, aren't you? Yes, you are! Yes, you are!
Seriously?
Anyway, let's get to the movie that we are reviewing, Super Hybrid. This movie actually was not bad at all, and it didn't disappoint me. It was a refreshing take on a killer car movie, and it held my interest. I must say, however, the one thing that I didn't like about it was the lack of scenery. It mostly took place in a parking garage, and it would have been nice to see some more action outside of that location. Maybe there'll be a sequel which will give us that luxury. So, why don't I start out with a basic description of the storyline, without giving too much away so that you can still enjoy this movie if you haven't seen it. The movie starts out with the car hunting a couple of guys in an alley who are attempting to steal it. We find out from the beginning that the car is able to shapeshift when it changes from a black sedan into a stunning red Corvette. The guys enter the car and are somehow devoured by it before it shapeshifts back into a black sedan. While the car speeds off into the night, it ends up in an accident and the police impound it. We are introduced to some of the main characters who work at the impound garage. Strange things with the car start happening after one of the crewmen disappears. They keep alluding to something being off with the car whenever people touch it, as though it feels alive or something. After watching this movie, you'll find out that the car is definitely keeping a secret from everyone. The hunt is on after the workers find out what this car is actually capable of. And I'll leave it at that. Please watch this movie for yourself and leave a comment afterwards to let us know what you think of it. So, what did you think of the movie?
It was one of the better movies that you picked out. Not that I'm into this type of movie, but it was exciting and fairly well produced.
Yeah, this definitely did not look like a low-budget movie, and the effects were well done. It looks like they sunk a decent amount of money into this.
You're probably right, considering all the cars they destroyed.
Exactly, and there was a decent amount of action, so it wasn't boring either. The choice of cars in and of itself was not exactly scary or anything. It was the nature of the beast that kept you freaked out. So, did you find it interesting?
Kind of. It was interesting to see how they would make it through and see who would survive the night.
Yeah, with these types of movies, not everyone is going to survive. So it's always kind of fun to guess who's gonna make it.
And it's not always who you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, but movies wouldn't be as fun to watch if they were all predictable.
So true.
So, what did you think about the acting?
It was average. It wasn't horrible. And there wasn't anything spectacular.
Yeah, some of the acting could have been better, but I'm not gonna complain. Overall, I was satisfied with this movie. The storyline was good, slightly different from other killer car movies that I have seen, and it held my interest till the end. They do kind of hint at a sequel, and I would be willing to watch it when and if they make one. So, the ratings are based on a scale of 0 through 10 on the Beakometer, with 5 being average, 0 through 4 being below average, and 6 through 10 being above average. What rating would you give the movie?
I'll give it a 7. It was better than some of the movies we've seen.
I am also going to give this movie an above average rating of 7 on the Beakometer. It was surprisingly good. Not spectacular by any means, but good. So that means our average rating will be 7 out of 10. It was a really decent movie, and we recommend that you check it out, especially if you are into horror films. It's the type of movie you'll want to watch late at night with the lights out.
And don't watch it by yourself.
So, that wraps up our movie review. Please leave a comment about this review, and if there's any movie you'd like to see us review, leave that in the comments too. So, if you like this video, be sure to peck at that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and peck at that notification bell to be notified of all our new videos as they become available. Thank you, and we'll see you next time, right here on Dr. Plague. Uh-oh. Ah!